I wanted to offer this quick little glimpse practice that is from Locke Kelly's work. It's an inquiry that sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. So it's inspired by him, and I'm just going to guide you through this. So I want you just to be able to tune into your system. So being in a space where you can do that, you can have your eyes open, you can have them closed. And I'm going to give you an inquiry, and I just want you to notice what happens inside when you get curious about this. And so the question is, what's here now when there's no problem to solve? And so let your thinking part understand the question and then really tune in and get curious about what's here now when there's no problem to solve. Is there a space inside you where there's no problems? There's nothing to fix. Sometimes people start to feel an openness around their heart. What's here now when there's no problem to solve? Sometimes people start to notice all their problems. What we're going to do is just ask those parts to give a little bit of space and get curious about the space where there is no problems inside. So just see, we're not asking your parts to leave or let go of their problems. They can keep their problems, but you see if they'll give a little bit of space to get curious. Is there a space inside where there are no problems? So just getting curious about that. This space you might notice shows up when you're doing something that you love or that you enjoy. Sometimes when people are in the water and nature, playing a musical instrument, when you're with a pet, you're lost in flow or exercise. What's here now when there's no problem to solve? And there's a spaciousness that shows up. If this doesn't resonate, it's okay. You can always just listen and notice the parts. If you start to notice a space where problems don't exist, I want you to see if there's a part that's noticing this space, if they would be willing to play with kind of unhooking or stepping back so that you can be aware from this energy. So just seeing, you can drop into being aware of the space that exists where there are no problems. Another way in might be if you just have some openness in your heart, if your parts would allow that. And if you notice that openness, again, if the parts that noticing the openness, being aware of that part and seeing if that part would step back. And they can do it really quickly. For me, my parts used to like kind of step back for just a second and then hook back in. So I would be aware from their perspective, and then they'd let me drop into my heart or into the spacious awareness. And then they'd hook back in again. So it would kind of titrate back and forth just to feel that it feels safe, that they don't shift or nothing bad happens when they allow you to be aware of what's here now. There's no problem to solve. If you can notice that spaciousness, just noticing if there's any boundary to it, or does it extend inside and outside your body? If you notice a boundary, just ask that part to step back. If it would stop limiting the energy for just even a second or two, just to feel if that feels safe. Just noticing how far it extends. If you notice another boundary, just see if that part would step back. You can feel this kind of infinite, expansive, aware, alive energy. It feels calm but alive. It feels like it's dancing. And to notice you can be aware from this energy and your parts can still be here. It's just a different space to relate from. And if this is feeling good, you can just stay here for as long as feels good. Just noticing this energy, your parts might want to play with, kind of hooking in and stepping back, just feeling what feels best for them. They still have control here, that it's their choice. It's just a much larger capacity of energy here. So it can feel like a nice break for your parts. They get to be soothed, re-energized. Noticing how you feel towards your parts from this space, inviting them to rest in or to lean into this energy. Nothing has to change here, that it's just to be held. Again, you can stay here for as long as feels good.